Sentinel sound a clap like a German logo.
Easy. One voice I done voice I don't represent for Sentinel. Sound.
This is Kabaka Pyramid, and right now you're tuning to the biggest and baddest podcast, the thing named Make We Talk by Sentinel Sound.
Greetings to each and everyone out there. My name is Algi, and this is a very special edition of Make We Talk, the dancehall podcast by Sentinel. Today I'm sitting here, virtually of course, with one of the most famous, most important and most respected sound owners in the world. His sound became a major influence on generations of sound systems from all over the world. Usually the man doesn't give a lot of interviews. That's why it's such a big pleasure and honor for me that today he's here with me to answer my questions. Let me welcome Father Eaton of the legendary King Addies Sound from Brooklyn, New York. Father Eaton, how are you? I hope everything is alright in this whole corona situation.
Yeah, I'm good. Hanging in there, no?
That's good to hear. We're here today, of course, to talk about your sound system, and I'd like to do it in a chronological order. And therefore, I'd like to begin at the very start, even before the formation of the sound system, so that we understand where you come from, both geographically and musically. Where did you grow up, and what were the sounds that you used to follow as a youth that were a role model or an inspiration for you?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Eastern Kingston. In Vineyard. I was born in Franklin Town, but I grew up in Vineyard Town. And sound systems I knew way back then was El Paso, Sir George, which U-Raw used to play.
Oh, wow, yeah?
U-Raw used to play El Paso. And Papa Roots. Well, I came to America when I was 12 years old, so
Okay.
I didn't know a lot about a lot of the sounds until I came to America. You know?
And were there any sounds in America that you used to follow?
Downbeat was my favorite sound, no?
Okay.
They had so much dubs, you know, and it was amazing, you know. And so Downbeat was my sound.
Wow. Back to the beginning of the sound. Can you please tell us about the start of the sound? Where and when was the sound founded, and what was the original crew, and were you there from the beginning?
Well, my sound, the King Addies came from my cousin started the sound. His name Adolphus, but they call him Addy. So it was Addies Hi-Fi, you know.
Okay.
And they didn't play dubs then, it was just records, but it was kind of popular. He played a lot of little dances and stuff, but officially in 89, we started cutting dubs.
Okay, yeah.
I used to collaborate with him a little on when he was playing records, but in 89, I first heard Stone Love earlier, probably 2 years earlier, Stone Love and Bodyguard and Silverhawk playing. I was fascinated with, having the dubs. I was used to live artists on sounds, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I started listening, I'm saying, yo, that's dub play. I hear U-Roy, I hear these different artists, but it was no pull up or nothing. Then I realized they was making actual songs, you know.
Okay.
So we got fascinated with that, and I could see the levels of my cousin's sound going going in a different direction. So we was friends with a lot of artists, Johnny Osborne, Tony Tuff, Fine. So we started making, doing a little thing, cut a little Gregory and Banana Man and some different little artists, some artists, and it just grew from there,
Wow. But back to the 80s, to the rub-a-dub era. Who was the original crew on the sound during like those years from 83 to 89?
Supercat, Nicodemus, Junior Demus, Chuck Turner, Frankie Paul,
Wow.
Sluggy, Trevor Sparks. We had a lot of, we had a lot of following, and that was the crew that used to kill sound.
Wow. Wow. And of course, my knowledge from this whole Addies thing is from reading, because I'm way too young and I'm way too far away from New York. So what I read in the past is that Pleasure Minot was playing the sound, the brother of Sugar Minot. Is that true?
He used to string up the sound.
Okay, okay. So he was part of the crew.
Yeah. The first selector on Addies before the dub was Lanky, a guy named Lanky.
Okay. And did you by yourself ever play the sound as a selector?
Nah. I just love the music, and I could, but I wasn't. I don't have that personality to be around sound and be seen. I like being in the cut,
Yeah. I understand. And the original home base of the sound, where was that? Because from what I understand, now you're based in Newlands.
Schenectady and Sterling.
Okay. Because later on you moved to Newlands, right?
Where we come from, they call it McGregor Gully, from in Jamaica. So it was Addies is known a Gully man sound,
Okay, wow. And so in the beginning, it was more like a robot up sound, but was the vision there to start one of the
Still is.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, with live artists on the sound, but was the vision there to start one of the biggest sounds in the world, or was it more like, let's start the sound system and let's see where we can go from there?
It was just the love of it. I didn't have no vision where it would end up, but I just loved it, and I didn't know where it was headed. But with the quality of artists we had on it, it was just rising to the top,
Wow.
I didn't really have a vision at that time, but the first thing I did, I knew to have the best, you had to start with the best. So my first thing, I wouldn't have started without Danny Dredd, Because
exactly, I want to talk about Danny Dredd.
Yeah, I listened to him on so many sounds, and I never see none better. So Danny Dredd is from Vineyard Town too. So we had
that was the connection.
Yeah, my cousin and everybody know him. They're from Jamaica, so I always hear about him. And when I realized that they knew him, I told them that's who I need to get to start, because he know everything about the business. And that was the rest.
And he was playing all the big sounds at that time in the 70s and the 80s. Wow. Because that's what I was so interested in, how came the connection that he moved to New York to play Addies. So so you knew him from the before.
Yeah.
But let's just skip back to the rub it up to the 80s for just a few minutes. Were there any notable clashes and rivalries in them times when there was live artists on the sounds?
Well, all of the clashes was relevant, because we just coming out. The first official clash we played was with a sound that we used to play around with for years, but the first official clash, we had it like a clash stage show, was Ballet International.
Okay.
Yeah, and after Ballet, then the dance was so successful and the vibes were so right. Then we had another dance, so we planned a dance with the sounds that was running the place at the time. Downbeat always had a title for years, but everybody else was fighting for whatever was left, So it was King Custom and Virgo Digital their name was being called at that time. So we challenged them, we beat them. Then the next objective was Downbeat, So we went for Downbeat. Then we got the title right there,
Wow, that's history. when we talk about you already talked about the artists that was on the sound, like Supercat and Nicodemus and Tenor. How did that connection come? Did you know them
Some
from?
of my personal friends, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow, wow,
Cat and Demos, and most of them is not about music. We like, you know, most of the artists is my friends, you know. Boju, Shaba, we see each other away from music, you know. That's my personal friends.
okay, okay, wow, wow. That's history. You talked about Danny Dreadlocks.
Yeah.
What I'd like to know is when exactly did Danny Dread come onto the sound? Which year?
In 89,
Okay, okay,
88,
okay.
89. I say
And
88.
and that was the point when you decided, okay, let's do it big now.
Yeah, that's when we started. I kind of, the vision started to come together, and then, you know, after Danny Dread, we win those two dances, then we just went straight ahead. Then right after
Wow.
that, the song went to Europe. We played Love Injection. We played Coxon. We played everybody in Europe, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was some formidable clash, you know. We represented, you know. Danny
Wow.
Dread and Babyface was a DJ originally, you know, on the sound.
That's what I wanted to ask. Yeah. What
Yeah.
was his first role on the sound? A DJ, right?
The first time Babyface played the song was one night. I was keeping a big show with Little Lenny, Professor Grizzly, Major Mackerel, Admiral Bailey, Frankie Paul, Tennessee, Super Cat, Sister Charmaine. That's when they in their prime. They was hot. And we had the show, and Donnie Drake came in at the same time. And the night before, Tennessee he wasn't doing a lot of singing. So Frankie Paul and Cat, and them they said they're going that we didn't have a rehearsal, so they did the rehearsal on the sound. The selector for the sound wasn't there, so they tell Babyface to select. And after that night he selected, Cat say he gonna crown him, you know, as Addies selector, cause he played officially. That tape is on SoundCloud too, you know, and out there. But after that, Babyface started selecting with Danny Dread, you know.
Okay, wow.
That's where he came about. You know.
And so this is the early 90s now with Danny Dread and Babyface, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that era and the rivalries of that era?
Well, we didn't run from no challenge, you know. We play anybody want to play us, we played, you know. We going after the best. We going after the best, playing anybody. And after a while now, the sounds from Jamaica, when they come up, it's like most of the other sound, they was basically turned into early warm, you know. Everybody came to see the Jamaica sound because they the stars, but I didn't like that though. So we started booking dates with the Jamaica sound and challenging them. You know? Any sound, the hottest sound in Jamaica, we wanted them. As soon as they start making noise in Jamaica, we made a dance with them. You know? I was doing a lot of promoting. I was 4x4, Stone Love, Metro, everybody, whoever name was calling and doing damage, we wanted them, you know. We started playing them. The foreign sound didn't get much respect, you know. I didn't like that. Like we was the early warm for the Jamaica sound, so we didn't like that. So after that, like I said, we took all challenges, you know? And we sent for people and, you know,
Yeah.
and did our thing. Yeah.
So Danny Dreadlocks and of course and also Babyface, they were rooted as selectors, I would say, in the rubber up in the live artist era. And in 1993, a young selector who formerly played Inner City Sound from Jamaica, which I think is like the embodiment of that new generation of mic men, was recruited onto the sound, and his name was Tony Materan.
Yeah.
How did that recruitment happen? Where did the link come from, and did you bring him on the sound?
Yeah, Tony Mataron came on the sound on a Labor Day. We always play outside on a Labor Day. We Paul from Stone Love and Barney that used to book that book Stone Love. They brought him around to New Lots and say this is a good selector. He used to play Inner City. I never know nothing about him, cause I didn't know him.
Okay.
And he said he wanted to play. Right there, we was playing outside in New Lots in a big open lot,
Yeah.
And I told him, I showed him the sound, do what you could do, and he started playing, and he never left.
Wow.
It's Weepow and Barney brought him to me,
Okay, wow. That's history. That's history. That's why we're doing this podcast, because that's what I guess the listeners might want to hear. Let's talk shortly about the different names of the sound. It started as Addies Hi-Fi, of course, because of the name of your cousin, Addy, and then it became Addies International, and then finally King Addies. Can you tell us about the transformation? Because obviously the name changes had to do with the gain of status of the sound.
It was never nothing about us, It's the people started naming the sound. We never named the sound. We named it Addies Hi-Fi, and the people did the rest. They enhanced everything. Sanchez started singing about King Addies, and the people start gravitating to that. The first person singing about King Addies was Sanchez. When they went to England, we go somewhere, you started voicing the artists that's there. Sanchez, the first song was the King Addies Come to Rule, We have the handle, the title, and the tool.
Wow.
Sanchez did that. Then over the years now, we killing so much sound. People say this is King Addies. We was never self-proclaimed, We was crowned. We wasn't,
Yeah, I see.
It wasn't about arrogance or nothing. We earned it, and people call us that. So it grew from there,
It came naturally.
Yeah, it came from work, putting in work.
And you definitely did. So when we talk about the Baby Fierce Mataron era, that's an era when King Addies was extremely successful in the Clash arena, both in the US and globally. And there are certainly many different reasons for that success. One of them, of course, was the extreme amount of doublets that you guys cut, from Foundation to New Song to Billboard artists. When did you decide, okay, let's do this, let's cut everything that we can get?
Well, I don't like to lose, So I figured having every angle covered would be the best way. So Don Juan, his wife, who's passed away now, rest in peace, Miss Moody. She called me as soon as the artist come off the plane, she called me. So-and-so is here, this is here, and by the time they reach the studio, I'm there waiting on them, So we was just trying to cut everybody that sing, everybody that DJ. Anybody that was relevant, we wanted them. Everybody.
And even Billboard artists. I mean, you have Snoop, you have Nas, you have everybody.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I guess it's a lot of luck too, And I guess if they see me and I talk to them, they like me and they say, we don't really do this, but we're gonna do it for you,
Wow.
Professor Nutt, he never liked doing dub plates. I seen him one day. I was talking to him, and we was there kicking it. And he was mentioned about his wife Gloria. My mother name is Gloria, so we was talking. He said, "I like your approach." He said, "I like your approach. I'm gonna do something for you." Then, I say, "I don't like this dub plate thing, but I do it for you." So a lot of artists that wouldn't do it for people do it for me. Super Cat, that's my brother. I never ask him for a tune, never. He come when he ready and say, "Yo, the sound needs some tune. Come, let's go." And cause Cat is not a person that like dub plates. He said it mash up the business. That's what he said. So but as a friend, and he love Addies to his heart. So that's his sound. So he always do the right thing for us.
Wow. The early, the mid 90s now, the Babyface Mataron era, Can you tell us about the big clashes of that era in the mid to late 90s?
Like the two biggest clash in the end was, well, all the clashes was big. You couldn't afford to lose to go to the top. You had to kill your way to the top, in a sense, you
I
know.
see, yeah.
So, but the two clash that was most memorable still to really solidify our thing was Bass Odyssey in Portmore
Hmm.
and Kilimanjaro in Portmore. Those was two.
Okay.
We destroyed Bass Odyssey in that dance, so only thing left was was Jaro, you know. I listen Jaro and love Jaro for years. Still now, you know, that's my sound too, you know. But that dance,
On Yeah.
no, what you were saying.
Today is the 24th of April. 2 days ago was the 22nd, of course, and that was the 25th anniversary of that clash with Charo in Portmore. A clash that many people refer to as the most important clash that ever happened in the industry. Certainly, they say the biggest clash ever to happen in Jamaica, one of the biggest clashes ever in the world. And of course, I only saw the video and the audio, but from that I understand what a monumental moment for the culture that was. There was a post made on King Addies social media 2 days ago at the 25th anniversary that the full has never been told about that clash, and I'd like to take that chance to ask you to give us your opinion on that clash, because I think that's
That
what
clash
the
was
listeners might.
that clash was never finished. We played that clash. I never. That's the experience I've seen that I never seen in life ever again, man. That clash. We went in the dance by 12 o'clock. It had like 20,000 people in the dance.
20,000 people.
Before one record play, it was Jaro, 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 Jaro. It was full of Jaro people in there. When that and old ladies waving Jamaica flag, it was America versus Jamaica. They put it. Then was a lot of politics in that dance. That dance was never finished, and I'm not gonna say we get robbed, but we wasn't treated fairly. It was a lot of everything was against us. Even at the end, they had a lady named Louise, who simpleton manager. She booked a lot of the artists. She got her office right in where with Mr. Harper office. That's his friend right there. A lot of politics was done against us, you know. We played. Then when the dance, Jaro was doing good. Both of us playing. Then when the dance was in the heat of the dance, the people say dub for dub. Ricky Trooper say six o'clock in the morning is dub for dub.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody moved. Everybody was there. Close to 6 o'clock in the morning, some little squabble happened. Jaro to a Jaro box knocked over. Jaro got some little small boxes. And we didn't we obviously coming from America, is nobody for us fighting or nothing. I don't know if it was stage or what, but right after that, Ricky Chupa said, man, too much confusion, man. Dance done, man, and done the dance. Never played dub for dub. And this is word to life. He came to the hotel the next day. He said, "You think I'm crazy? I would never play Addies in dub for dub because if we lose, this is his exact words. If we lose, Jaro gonna turn furniture. If Addies lose, y'all still playing all over the world. I would never play dub for dub." So it was. Then I realized it was staged to end the dance there.
Mm-hmm.
Before the day could be out, the X News Jaro win because that's their friends. It's a lot of politics against us, and they run from us all these years. I'll gladly say that they hide and run from us. I paid Ricky Chupa I paid him for the dance, and I paid him for a rematch. We say if anything, we're gonna do one dance, then another dance. That was the original thing before we even played a tune.
Mm-hmm.
After the dance, they keep telling people, nah, we can't let Addies pop the stripe off us. We ain't gonna play them. And to this day, we never played a baby shower. Alongside, they don't want to see no part of us. They run from us from that day.
Wow.
I hear Ricky Trooper talking a lot of stuff, man. You know, that's my brethren and thing, but you got to tell it the right way, man. That dance wasn't finished. We live with it, cause that's the way it is. But if you, as a fan, listen both sides, you could see. You could see the way the dance is. We played all the big tunes, all the tunes. He played a lot of jump up and a lot of gimmicks, which that's the way Clash is anyway. But the dance wasn't finished. He didn't play dub for dub, and that was deliberate. It was no accident. It was deliberate.
Okay. Wow. So I know that the whole world wants to see Addies versus Charog, and I hope sometimes in the future that it happens.
We ready later on if they're ready.
Anywhere that this dance is gonna happen, I'm gonna fly in. No matter
Today,
where, no matter when.
2 hours from now, today we ready if they ready. That's how we always ready.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we don't back from no clash. No clash ever. Addies don't back from. Never.
Wow.
You come, set it right, pay us right. We clash anyway on spot. And that's the truth.
Wow. One more question for that clash. Which sound, I mean, the boxes, the equipment did you play on in that clash?
A sound named Crystal.
Okay. Wow. That was what I was interested in, and I never knew that. So now we're in the late 90s with the departure of Tony Matterhorn, who was to become one of the most successful solo selectors in the world has ever seen. Came the arrival of Winterfresh on the sound. He's now back on the sound, but let's talk about his first time on the sound. In your opinion, what were the outstanding moments with Winter in the Winterfresh era?
Well, Killing Soul Supreme and a lot of other dances. And he played with Neil Diamond when Kill Stone Love. They was playing regular and Nico act up and they killed him, you know, that dance. But Winterfresh, he represented, he did a lot for Addies, you know. All the selectors did their thing. Neil Diamond, Babyface and Mataran and Danny Dread, you know, they set the thing and put it on the map, you know. Danny Dread and Babyface originally put it on the map. Mataran came, did his thing, enhanced it, you know. Everybody made an input, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That Stone Love round, the second round against Stone Love, that was when people told, when I first got into like that whole sound system thing, people told me, well, that second round that Winterfresh and Neil Diamond played was one of the best juggling rounds ever played.
Yeah, that was true. But our intention was there to juggle and please the people, but they was provoked, you know, so they defended it. You know?
Wow. So after that era, there was a break for a couple of years in the early 2000s. Why did that happen? And was it because the times were changing, the Biltmore era was gone, and it was more like a chiggy vibe in the dancehall scene them times?
It's hard to explain. We just took a break for a while. You know?
Okay.
We took a break and doing other things, but we still, what surprised the world, we was cut more even than when we playing.
So you was still cutting dub plates all those years?
Crazy like we playing. More than people that's playing.
Wow. Wow.
That's why we surprised the world. Cause when we came back out, they thought we were just coming back out regular, but we was still up to date. You know, we no matter what, we always try to stay up to date. You know,
Yeah.
and get new artists and tunes it give us more time to research and on things that we really need, and you know, and we start covering every angle. You know, so we did more work. Laying back than when we was active.
Okay, I see. After that, there was the comeback, first with Face, which was not too successful, I would say, with the UK Cup Clash and the Sonic Dances. And after that was the establishment of the new crew with Kingpin, Killaboo, Surgidana, Viper, and Ewan, who's not on the sound anymore, and now Winterfresh again, and Nico Glock. How was that transition, and how did you pick the crew, all those different members?
Well, Viper always been around me for years,
Okay.
and I know he loved the music and he did his thing. When I have a friend by the name of Andrew. He brought A1 and Kingpin to me, and he always been telling me,
Andrew Digital.
yeah, he always telling me they wicked and so he bring them in. We needed two selectors. He brought them in, and the first dance I see them play, I was impressed. The Global Clash.
Yeah.
Supersonic, I was watching the video. I wasn't at the dance, so I seen the video first. Supersonic came in, mash up the place. Then Cosmic, mash up the place. So I'm saying, wow, what they gonna do now? Them two, and it was fire too. That dance impressed me with their talents right there. And from then, Kingpin he only got better. Only got better. He's a humble selector, well talented, and he love his work. So
Definitely, I played alongside Kingpin many times here in Europe and even in New York. And in my opinion, he's one of the best selectors out there. And this is not me begging friends. This is
yeah,
how I see it.
that's our opinion too. You got to give credit where it's due.
Exactly. Um, as an elder in the business who witnessed all those different eras of sound system culture, how do you see the sound system business nowadays versus back in the day? Because not just the music changed, but also different aspects of the sound system industry, like the internet brought dub cutting to a everybody can cut dub plates now, and the importance of sound system is not like back in the day when it comes to making a song a hit or boss a new artist. How do you see those changes, and how does King Addies deal with that?
Well, it's better for the business, 'cause it bring a lot of people that wouldn't hear the music to hear it now and form an opinion and liking it. So it bring more fans to the business, and it, it keep you on your toes more. You got a lot of little people coming out there, a lot of little sounds that's coming with a lot of fire. So it keep you focused, and you can't just relax and say you're at ease, and because they knock you off your feet if you take that attitude. You gotta keep the killing instinct same way. And it does make you work hard and to enhance your craft. You gotta just work harder, and it keep you on your toes. Which is a good thing. You can't relax. There's always somebody there trying to knock you out. So
Yeah.
you gotta always keep your guards up. So it's better for the business to me. And I think it'll keep the business running longer. So it's not but good things. Not but good things.
It's great when an elder like you says stuff like that, because more time, like elders say, like back in the day everything was better, but it's good to hear when you say, okay, those changes are there, and but we work with it, and it's getting even better. Like for instance, this podcast, this is possible due to the internet, and me being a fan, I couldn't be that without the internet.
Yeah, that's true. We respect it and appreciate it. And we love what we do. I still don't like losing, so we gonna we gonna always be on our toes and try to create new things. And 'cause like I said, I respect the youngsters. They come in hard, and we can't afford to let them knock us out. So it make the competition even more fierce. And it's better for the business.
I understand. So now it's 2020, and any zone who wants to be the top clash zone has to go against King Addies. You've almost achieved everything there is to achieve in the clash world. What are the next zones for steps for the zone? Because I saw just a couple of days ago there was the launch of the King Addies music label. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I was never too strong on producing. I always think it's too much work, and I just like killing sounds. That was my thing. But I see the thing is enhanced more, and it needed to address every forum of the business. So and De Niro and Shines, they love that. So I gotta support it and do and be with it, you know. 'Cause that's two people I gotta thank for keeping up Addies and see the vision that I got, you know. So I got to see their vision too and support it, and it's best for the business in every way too. You know?
I understand. You said it already. Kingpin is a great selector, not just a wicked clash selector, but also a great juggling selectors. And then you have the Jamaican chapter of the sound. I see them juggling on the island. Will we see King Addies focusing even more on juggling events in the future?
Yeah. Well, we versatile. We say bashment or burial. You know. we ready. You know. And we have a lot of great selectors. You know. Everybody in their own rights do represent and bring a different flavor to the Addies, you know. So I think we're in a good position.
I think so too. Hopefully, when this whole quarantine thing is over, we're gonna see more clashes with Addies in it again, and next Euro tour, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, likewise, you know. And I appreciate what you do for. I appreciate what you do for the sound and the love you show for the sound. Also, thank you for that.
Thank you very much, sir. I gotta say thank you too, Father Eaton. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me, granting us some inside views into the history of one of the greatest sounds that was ever on this planet Earth. Big up yourself, big up the whole Addies family, big up Shines De Niro, Kingpin, Killer Boo, Sugidan, Winterfresh, Nico Glock, everybody, and yeah, stay safe.
Big up to the Sentinel family, you know. Nothing but love, you know.
Thank you very much, sir.